What's up, guys? Vince Ryder here, and welcome to my review for Romantic Killer, where I'm gonna try my best, at least my best to remember the names, but pretty much finishing. Listen, I started watching this and I couldn't stop watching it. I never thought I would have actually have one of those moments of ever watching anything because there's so many other animes. I have a backlog of different shows and Netflix and stuff like that that I never finished. That I never actually looked forward like, oh, I'm gonna be checking that. I just didn't care. I really didn't care until I saw Romantic Killer. It was just a perfect mix of everything else that I'm used to reading here in Webtoon. But even though it's some of it predictable and there's some parts where I'm kind of like a little bit critical of and the tropes and I just love how there's another harem out there, at least knowing that it's been a while since I've seen anything of a reverse harem, but for this one particularly, like it's something that I love so much. The chemistry, the characters, and just even though it's some of it is predictable, it's just refreshing just to be with something familiar, but also have certain spins to it where I'm just like, oh man, it's just a perfect binge watch. It's a perfect mix of those, you know, you know, those moments that I had fun with this particular show, and of course, I recommend to actually check it out yourselves. I didn't know this was. Is this really a Netflix kind of series? I thought there was like actual anime of it. Like I thought there was like some company or something that Netflix decided to buy the whole IP or something like that. But I guess yeah, Netflix own it. Like I always get like confused. Like like if One Piece is still on Netflix, is that also a Netflix series? Is that a Netflix like something like that? So yeah, I don't know the creators. I don't know the background or anything. Mind you, I don't even know the characters much when in this anime. Like it just flew by so fast. And yeah, my quick thoughts about this particular anime that I enjoy. Like I never thought I would miss these tropes. I remember seeing other otomes or other like I call it otome, but other just romances involving reverse harem that happens to have certain stereotypes that I honestly miss, and I never thought I would see them to come back. And this is one of those animes where I'm just glad to see that again. There's like different stuff within this anime where it does get raunchy, it gets dark, it gets emotional, but it also gets funny, especially the main character, the redhead, raging over the fairy, and especially the storyline, how it's a kind of like out of feel, like from my perspective of just seeing like a fairy taking over some random person's life. Like you need to be married, you need to fall in love, and and other than that, they pretty much like they have to fall in love or else they don't get the three major treasures of like this redhead particular this redhead's character, Asuna, I believe her name is. And like it was like chocolates, it was video games, it was the cat that she loved that is referenced throughout the anime. And yeah, she all of that is taken away, and she will get them back until she finds someone that she loves. The thing is that I never, it never made sense to me at first, but it definitely didn't make sense after I saw the ending. Which is now it's going to be a continuation or some sorts, or is it going to come back? One of the main things about this Romantic Killer that I got from that I'm so lost is the stalker. Like, where did that came from? Just out of nowhere. Okay, I guess the stalker is just entering in. But you sort of see a lot of female characters within this anime that plays very well. I thought it was going to be mostly boys. I thought it's just like about this one character surrounded by mostly boys, but they play it in a way where it's more realistic. It's more real because you got characters that, in some ways I honestly relate to. Like Jonto, like, the kid that used to be fat when he was younger, and then when he grows up, happens to be into sports, the kid like, with the black hair. Junto kind of like, I get from him from, many sorts of being who he is. And also, I thought he was just gonna come in and be like a sunshine, ball of sunshine or something, but he's mainly a nervous kind of character that is a sporty type. And then we got like, the redhead, which is mostly the orange hair individual, the boy that happens to be the main lover or some points, as if we saw that, coming. Because this kind of goes into many ways. Even the fairy comes in as a, different character sorts. And it's always funny to see, and also the fairy or the fairy getting wrestled, freaking tossed like a ball, getting WWE'd by by just the nature of just like the comedic slapstick um humor throughout this anime. And it fits so well because it's a strong female protagonist within this anime with other boys that that she doesn't take no crap from. Like you have the rich character that's definitely someone that the student was very critical of, especially how rich he is and stuff like that. The kid with the blonde hair in the side here, and it seems like he's like kind of would be the bad person of this, even though the main enemy is the stalker. But he grew to be a nicer and nicer person. It's almost like there's like a certain limit, because the thing is that when you're that rich, okay, because he's a rich kid, that's the stereotype he is playing at, and he actually expected that every girl to fall in love with him, even having a fan base, and especially with the redhead, Asuna. Like it just didn't work out at all, because Asuna's the type of girl that can see through the BS, through any character basically, that can see through the honesty and basically. I guess that's what I love about this anime. It's just like the honesty that it brings, the reality of like how this main character sees it all. Even though there's some like funny and mostly hilarious moments throughout this anime, I appreciate how real and how there's a certain lesson behind through a lot of this. And some of the lessons to me, I cringe, because I'm like, okay, fine, I'm guessing I'm getting lectured by this romance goodness, but it's sort of a good thing. Okay, it's a good thing that it has that, I guess. And I'm putting two hats here. One is like a dad me, and another is like, oh, a person that just wants to watch some good old romance anime because I just want to watch some good old romance anime. Why not? I'm just slouching around and stuff. But it sort of plays within how, especially knowing these young characters and all that, they just grow up so fast throughout the anime. It's just crazy how, those 12 episodes just flew by, but the moments within, the relationships of the characters and stuff like that, just how much it's especially I get the same thing from Luffy in One Piece, where Luffy, like, there's this energy between, in Monkey D. Luffy, where almost anyone that he comes across either, loves him or wants to challenge him. And I get that, maybe there's also some that hates him and then wants to collect his bounty. But like Luffy has that cadence, the same way that Suna, the redhead has that cadence that, being around people, people that he cared. And also there's like certain subjects and points of, the pressures and also the anxiety that it surrounds in within the anime. And you see Asuna really conquering that. And it's a type of person that is not afraid to speak up. And I guess that's what this anime sort of really tells, that is that not only it shows a very strong protagonist, a strong female protagonist, but it shows about like how this girl basically really does speak up and also wants a certain kind of love instead of the love that he gets from, that she gets from the Otome games and stuff like that. Even though like there's so many tropes of just like romance tropes that she tries to avoid, which I find funny, because every minute, like, as soon as trying to find like, what is the fairy up to, because the fairy is this annoying character that either switches to a boy or a girl, can change into many forms actually. And it's just like this poppy character you see in the middle, this happy-go-lucky, and it's just like, is she like, or he the bad person or something? Like, what is going on with the main character and everything? And also there was like some parts where it just was hilarious and also just crazy. The bugs being painted as like sweets, disturbing, but and also like just certain points of within the anime where I seen the characters literally almost got killed. Whether a storm or a crazy person, like it's just like, okay, we're going to this route, But there's so many routes to take within this anime that I like. And it didn't take the typical Tomy route, which is, there's a part of me where when I watch this anime, I kind of miss that kind of trope. And there's some tropes in there, and that's what got me coming back and back. But also, I appreciate how it sort of just breaks it apart and puts it all together in its own way. And all thanks to the main character really, putting that all together, and you just see the love that she brings. And it's kind of like she has this cadence that everyone really wants to be centered around her. And I really do appreciate how it goes into that. I love this anime. I really enjoyed it. I'm just here to share and put it on the shelf. Like, yo, I watched this, okay? Put it on the shelf on my YouTube channel and tell you, like, yo, I dig it, okay? I enjoy this anime so much. And maybe there's some other parts within this anime that I could have gotten into a little bit more. You know, I'm not really that type of person to go into Easter eggs, even though I didn't know I find any or if I could find any. What I do know, spoiler alert, the ending, like, what was up with the stalker? Like, the stalker literally almost killed the main character, Asuna, and I never thought it was going to that route. I know there's some dark subjects within this anime, but there's like moments of just like damn, like that happened. This is dark. This can't be real at all, But then here we are, and it's like there's so many parts within the anime where it it could have been prevented of just like the certain subjects, and I feel like in most scenes, because I was bringing the whole realistic thing, they gotta like put like a restraining order on her, and realistically she would be like seeing the warning signs, but she wouldn't stop. I feel like I want to go into more detail of the stalker. There's so many interesting stuff that we can find behind her. The same thing we can find behind many characters, whether they were a kid and now they're grown up. But I guess the stalker is a bad person because she's a bad person. There is some like notes of her not having a good time at work, being stressed and being having that stressful adult life, whatever, and falls in love with a high school boy and then ends up stalking him, being the one with the orange hair. And it's like it seems like, I don't know, there could be more surrounding that. And also there could be more about the individual with the orange hair a little bit, but thank goodness we got that from the flashback and then helped me have an understanding of empathy. And all that is thanks to the mystery of just like finding it later on, because the last episode of this anime really covers a lot of background, covers a lot of like questions of like who is who. And understand that even though we got that a little bit from each other character, it feels like every character was good until the stalker comes up and is a bad person. And I guess that's what I like about the anime. It goes into those mysteries until later on, and I just feel like there should be more episodes for this, and that's how much I love it. Other than that, yeah, and pretty much you got another fairy coming in. I don't know what that's about, other than the main fairy, which I already forget the name of. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching for this review. I would like to see more like, an OVA or something. Like, what is the fairy world? What is like, this whole romance thing continuing on. Another spoiler, by the way. The freaking it continues on as the main girl, even though she got her stuff back, got her parents back, and literally the parents left. By the way, the parents left out of nowhere because the freaking fairy just wanted to make that happen. The cruelest thing that I have ever seen, mostly. And there's a lot of cruel things that the fairy did where it's like effed up, and I'm just like, okay, so you're not seeing what's wrong here, and you're just doing this because you want to get paid. Like, are you serious? Like, that's insane. And it has something to do with the low birth rate. Like, I know that's a big subject in Japan, but I never thought it was gonna go about this. And like, that's the main reason the fairies are doing their thing to actually prevent that or something. Yeah, a lot of nonsense that I guess didn't really like, it didn't bother me much, as you can tell in the beginning of this review. But at the same time, a lot of questions need to be answered, and hopefully there will be a season 2 of Romantic Killer. That will be nice. Other than that, yeah, that is my review of, well, actually my review attempt. Listen, there's a lot of stuff I miss, I guarantee you, but I probably don't care because at least I'm here talking about it, just sharing it, and let me know what your favorite moments of Romantic Killer. I'll see you when I see you. And one love and a peace.